What's up, guys? Crazy Science here, and today we're going to talk about chemistry. But before that, let's say a joke. Okay. What did the acid say to the base? He said, "Why are you so negative?" Because the base is a proton receptor. Get it? So let's talk about Antoine Lavoisier. Antoine Lavoisier was a chemist, and he invented chemistry. So when people at the time believed in alchemy, which meant turning lead into gold. But Lavoisier said, that's not right, and invented chemistry, the study of atoms and its properties. So when he proposed this theory, people cut his head off because they did not like that. Now let's talk about molecules. Okay. So molecules are two atoms combined and they form chemical compounds. Speaking of molecules, water is a type of molecule, H2O, two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Now let's talk about polymers. Polymers are long molecules repeating themselves, and monomers are long hydrocarbon molecules repeating themselves. Next on my list is atoms. Atoms form everything in the universe, but even smaller particles form atoms. So the smaller particles that form atoms are protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons are positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. But however, protons and neutrons determine the mass number of an element. But protons itself determines the atomic number. Let's talk more about electrons. Electrons go almost the speed of a light, and they go so fast, scientists can't even determine where it is. So they just guess it's at the outside of an atom, but who knows where it could be. So let's go back to a neutron. If there are more neutrons on the atom, it will be called an isotope. Isotopes are extremely dangerous. They can cause cancer, and if it decays, it's radioactive. So that's about protons, neutrons, and electrons. But even so, electrons and protons can be divided into even smaller pieces, called quarks. Quarks make up subatomic particles that are larger than it, of course. So those where quarks are. So next on the list is elements. But all this time I've been mentioning elements. What is an element exactly? An element is what forms everything in the universe. Let's take an atom. An atom uses specific elements to classify it. For example, let's talk about the element hydrogen, the first element, the most simplest of all elements. Hydrogen is in one atom of hydrogen, of course, and one electron. No neutron, just one hydrogen atom and one electron. That's what hydrogen is. And hydrogen is a gas, which means it forms the air. So that's what an element is. So next on the list is ions. Are atoms that have maybe donated an electron or gained an electron. That's what ions are. So that's all for today's episode, but next time we'll be talking about something weird called antimatter. You want to know what it is? You have to keep tuning in. Bye-bye.